Okay, thank you very much for the presentations. This is the book which we are going to review today, and the title of the book is Usul Al-Fiqh. From the title, sometimes we do not know whether the book in Malay or in English or in Arabic, because the term Usul Al-Fiqh, of course, Arabic. Sometimes also Malay language also use Usul Al-Fiqh. English also use this kind of the term. And then finally, when we open the contents and the discussion of this book, we found that the book is originally in Malay. But Alhamdulillah, our student is able to review this book in English, but in according to what we call our course here, the language of instruction is in English. So I would like to say thanks to the reviewers with the effort to translate into English and then make us understand easily the contents or the discussion of this book. In order to review this book, so since I have the original one, allow me to read the synopsis of this book. So no doubt, if you want to know in general about the book, if you have the time, if you do not have the time to read from very beginning until the end, this is maybe the way for you to read. Right. Number one, what we call, you have to refer maybe the title, the content, and then no doubt the synopsis. So allow me to read the synopsis from this book, and then the synopsis in Malay because the book is originally in Malay. Perbincangan hukum Islam atau fiqh adalah sangat penting, terutamanya dalam menyelesaikan isu semasa. Selain itu, fiqh menjadi suatu ilmu yang wajib dipelajari oleh keseluruhan masyarakat Islam. Khususnya melibatkan rukun-rukun Islam seperti solat, zakat, puasa dan haji. Dalam perbincangan fiqh, terdapat ilmu yang menjadi dasar dan juga asas utamanya, iaitu ilmu usul al-fiqh. Usul al-fiqh adalah satu ilmu yang menjadi panduan mujahid untuk mengistinbatkan hukum-hukum syarak yang praktikal daripada dalil-dalilnya yang bersifat tafsili. Buku ini mendedahkan penjelasan mengenai usul al-fiqh yang menyeluruh sebagai panduan asas dalam memahami ilmu fiqh ataupun ilmu syariah umumnya. Perbincangan yang terkandung dalam buku ini meliputi konsep usul al-fiqh, dalil-dalil syarak, teori hukum, kaedah penafsiran nas, ta'arud dan tarjih, ijtihad dan juga taklid. Buku ini sesuai dijadikan rujukan oleh penuntut ilmu atau pelajar dalam bidang syariah dari pelbagai peringkat secara khusus dan masyarakat awam secara amnya. So now we understand that the purpose of preparing this book is mainly as a textbook for the student. Since the author is an associate professor in fiqh and usul al-fiqh in Malaya University, maybe what we call he prepared this book for his student for the course that related to usul al-fiqh, which has been offered by Academy of Islamic Studies of University Malaya. And then, no doubt, this is very small one. I don't want to say that it is a comprehensive related to usul al-fiqh in according to Islamic law. Maybe again, summary that related to usul al-fiqh. And if we look to this, the discussion of this book, right? The discussion. Before that, this is among the objective, of course, to introduce something related to the foundations of usul al-fiqh, maybe explain the key concept, something like that. And then the kandungan here in Malay, of course, about this book, chapter 1, with the title Pengenalan kepada Ilmu Usul al-Fiqh. So just to give you maybe the meaning and then the interpretations related to usul al-fiqh, the importance, and then the book that related to this subject also, has been explained to you in chapter 1. While in chapter 2, very interestingly with the title Ilmu here. Ilmu means knowledge. So when we look to the subtopic here, we have two subtopic here. Beza fiqh dan ilmu. The difference between fiqh and ilmu ataupun knowledge. And the perbezaan di antara zon dan syak. So now we understand that zon mean doubt. And then syak also mean doubt. But in Islamic jurisprudence context or Islamic usul al-fiqh context, there is a difference. If they say that this knowledge is in the category of zannu, means syak or doubt, and then if, for example, ulama classify that this matter is in a category of syak, there is also the secret behind that we have to understand. For these reasons, the author tried to clarify to us something that related to this matter. And no doubt, in chapter 3, dalil syara, that means the evidence from the Sharia. No doubt, that means sometimes mention, discuss about the primary source, Al-Quran, As-Sunnah, and the Al-Ijma, Al-Qiyas, Al-Istihsan, Al-Maslaha, Uruf, Syara, Man Qablana, Syara' Man Qablana, pandangan sahabat, Saddu Az-Zara'i, Al-Istishab. So this is amongst what we call the evidences or dalil that can be used in order to understand Islamic law. And no doubt today, there are also many what we call evidence or dalil to support our argument, by which sometimes we do not find the discussion in this book, right? And chapter 4 is teori hukum, and chapter 5 is kaedah penafsiran nas. Chapter 6 is ta'arud and tarjih. Chapter 7 is ijtihad and taklid. And chapter 8 is kesimpulan here. So now if we go to this review, this is among the result and discussion which has been outlined by our reviewer. Just to give you maybe in line with what has been mentioned in this book, just with the title source of the Sharia here. So therefore, she also copy maybe from the book, the discussion about these kinds of the subject related to source of Sharia, as I mentioned to you, especially chapter 3 here, Dalil Syara. The next one, this is something related to clarification of legal theories and method here. What we can combine together what has been discussed in the book, chapter 4, teori hukum, chapter 5, kaedah penafsiran nas, and ta'arud tarjih, ijtihad and taklid here. So what we can discussion under the subtopic result and discussions. So this is maybe the copy from the book. So this one from the book, right? Yeah, okay, go on. Next. This is maybe a recommendation as usual. Maybe this book also I'll give to you recommendation in Malay. Buku ini sesuai dijadikan rujukan oleh penuntut ilmu atau pelajar dalam bidang syariah dari pelbagai peringkat secara khusus dan juga masyarakat awam secara amnya. So this is the recommendation from the author. And then this one maybe recommendation from the reviewers, which is a good, very good attempt, at least to give something different what has been said by the author, and consider as what we call the contributions of the reviewers, say something from their mind, from their heart. So thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.